manual timer switches. They sort of worked okay, but I couldn't change the show if I wasn't around. So I started looking at network-controlled power switches, and I initially used some APC PDUs because we used them at work, and I found a couple cheap on eBay and that sort of thing. But then I was looking, well, what could the average guy use more so that isn't quite at the same price point? So Belkin have a little product called a Wemo, which is basically a little plug-packy-like thing that you can plug your power into the front of, and it actually connects to your wireless network. And you can get your Pi to control these as well. So that's a better way to get started. And the APC PDU is that kind of thing on the right, where there's lots of 8 or more ports, which is useful if you've got a lot of power supplies in one spot and you want to control them individually rather than using them through a power board or something like that. The other thing I've used it for is powering down parts of my show at the end and just leaving a couple of lights on at night, just with, you know, one power supply running and one controller running, that sort of thing. With the, what have I got next? Yeah, so with Falcon Pi Player, you can schedule to run sequences, or you can schedule it to run scripts. And running these scripts is the functionality that I've been using. But how do you do it? At a high level, you get your power switches devices on your network. You write a couple of small scripts on your Pi or your Pi Player to control them. And then depends on what exact power device you're using, depends on what you need, what program you need to install and use on your Pi. And then you add it to your Pi Player schedule. That's really high level, right? If anyone's actually interested in doing it, then I'm happy to help write some guides on actually how to do it. But I thought I'd keep it high level today. So once you've got your Pi controlling your power, you can do other stuff, because the Pi has inputs and outputs, and over on my demo table over there I've got some switches plugged in that start and stop sequences. But one of the things I did use it for last year is just turning the whole show on and off while I was setting it all up and testing it. So I don't want to plug the pixels in live because sometimes the first one blows up. So instead of having to run back into the garage and flick the power switches every time, I had my laptop with me and I just pressed a button and the whole show would power off, fix what I'm doing, press the button, all power's on again. That saved me a lot of time running backwards and forwards. So one of the reasons I bought the Wemo is that I haven't asked my neighbour across the road yet, but I intend to ask my neighbour across the road whether I can put a radio and speakers in their front yard for some music, so I don't have to blare it over from my side really loudly. And that way I could get the Wemo to turn the stuff on and off automatically and no one has to be involved. The other thing I want to do is give my neighbour next door kill switches for my show. So if the traffic gets bad, they can just turn off all my power and then turn it back on again when the problem people are gone. Because I run my show unattended. I'm almost never there when it starts or stops. So what do these things cost? Yeah, these things are about $80, and the APC stuff is horrendously expensive unless you find it on eBay and are patient and buy it cheap, which you can do. And so I thought I'd do a really quick demo, which basically doesn't show you much at all, other than that I've got a button on my Pi that I can press, and all my relays will go off on. So it works in practice. It's just I don't have lots of 240 volt things to plug in so that you can see as they switch on and off. So that was it really.